They were the people who mastered the horse. The people whose descendants would speak the languages of Europe, Iran, and India. The people who followed the sun eastward at dawn and westward at dusk, across the vast Eurasian steppe. We do not know what they called themselves. Their nobles may have been known as Arios. Today, we know them as the Yamnaya, or more broadly, the Proto-Indo-Europeans. Over the last few decades, scholars have reached a broad consensus. The Proto-Indo-European language spread into Europe and Asia from the steppe north of the Black Sea, in what is now Ukraine and southern Russia, around 3200 BCE. But while the expansion of this language family is now widely accepted, its true origins, and the origins of the people who first spoke it, remained fiercely debated. Until now, new genetic and archaeological discoveries have converged to provide a far more complete answer, one that traces the roots of Proto-Indo-European not only into Europe, but also south into Anatolia, where it gave rise to the languages of the Hittites and Luwians. So who were the first people to speak Proto-Indo-European? For more than a century, scholars suspected a steppe origin. In 1883, linguists noted that many core Indo-European words referred to a pastoral, horse-based lifestyle, strongly suggesting a steppe environment. This idea was later refined and popularized in the mid-20th century, when archaeologists linked Proto-Indo-European speakers to kurgan-building pastoralists of the Eurasian steppe. More recently, advances in genetics have confirmed what archaeology and linguistics had long hinted at. The Yamnaya were real, mobile, and extraordinarily influential. Yamnaya-related peoples spread west into Europe, forming cultures like corded ware and bell beaker. They moved south into the Balkans, contributing to early Greek. They crossed the Caucasus, influencing the origins of Armenian. And they expanded eastward deep into Central and Inner Asia. Yet one major problem remained. The Anatolian languages, including Hittite and Luwian, are clearly Indo-European, yet Bronze Age Anatolians lack Yamnaya ancestry. This absence challenged the steppe hypothesis from the very beginning. Hittite appears to preserve an extremely early form of Indo-European, so early that scholars often call it Indo-Anatolian. But if the Hittites were Indo-European speakers, why didn't they descend from the Yamnaya? For decades, this contradiction resisted explanation. Then came the genetics. In early 2025, a landmark genetic study revealed something crucial. The Yamnaya were not the first Proto-Indo-European speakers. Instead, they descended from a much older population that lived thousands of years earlier along the lower Volga and the northern Caucasus. Around 8000 BCE, two ancient populations began moving toward one another. From the north came eastern hunter-gatherers, descendants of Ice Age peoples adapted to forest and river environments. From the south came Caucasus hunter-gatherers, a genetically distinct group that had remained relatively isolated near the Caucasus Mountains for tens of thousands of years. Following rivers like the Volga and the western Caspian coastline, these two populations met and mixed. This fusion created a new people. Archaeology shows that they lived in semi-subterranean houses, relied on rivers for food and transport, and buried their dead with knees bent and bodies covered in red ochre, a ritual that would echo across the steppe for millennia. Genetically, they were neither purely northern nor southern. Culturally, they blended traditions from both worlds. This population, often identified through sites near the lower Volga, became the ancestral core from which both Proto-Indo-European and Proto-Indo-Anatolian emerged. Language does not appear overnight. It forms over thousands of years within a stable cultural zone where people live, intermarry, trade, and share beliefs. That zone existed here, between the Volga River and the northern Caucasus. By around 4700 BCE, descendants of this population began moving west toward the Dnieper River, mixing with local hunter-gatherers and early European farmers. From this fusion emerged the Sredny Stog culture, which preserved steppe burial customs, early horse domestication, cord-decorated pottery, and a mobile pastoral economy. 1,000 years later, from the eastern edge of this world, the Yamnaya culture would arise, more unified, more mobile, and more expansionist than any steppe society before it. They would carry Indo-European languages across Europe and deep into Asia. But the story does not end with them. Genetic traces of the older Lower Volga population, distinct from Yamnaya, have now been found south of the Caucasus and inside Anatolia itself. Early Bronze Age Anatolians show ancestry linked not to Yamnaya, but to these earlier steppe Caucasus peoples. This explains how Indo-European languages could arrive in Anatolia without mass Yamnaya migration. The Hittites rose to power. Their language preserved an ancient form of Indo-European, and then disappeared along with their empire. Luwian survived longer, before being absorbed into the Greek linguistic world. Proto-Indo-European was not born in a single moment. It emerged slowly, through migration, fusion, ritual, and memory, among people who bridged north and south, forest and steppe. From that ancient meeting place between the Volga and the Caucasus came a language family that would shape the modern world. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Consider supporting the channel through Patreon, PayPal, Super Stickers, or membership. Your support makes this content possible. Thank you for watching. And as always, stand tall,